How to glaze your ceramic pieces using wax resist. When you get your pieces back from the kiln, you will notice they are a lot harder. They have been fired to a lower temperature and they can now be glazed. Before we begin to add glaze, we are going to cover the bottom of your piece with wax resist. Wax resist is basically liquid wax. Use a brush and cover the entire bottom of your piece. But that's not good enough. Once you cover the bottom of your piece, we also want to cover a little bit of the bottom edge. To spread the wax resist, use one of these blue or red old brushes. Did I mention you should cover the bottom edge? Make sure you get it. It should look something like this when you're finished. The wax is hard to clean out of the brush. Run it under water, but you will need to use a bar of soap and maybe some Gojo soap. I like to clean it like this, using the brush against a bar of soap. Run your fingers between the brush and get it as clean as you possibly can. And like I said, you can also use a little bit of Gojo and rub that inside of it and then rinse it out again. When you're finished cleaning the brush, make sure you put it away with the brush side facing upwards. Brush side facing upwards. Nice job. Waiting for your piece to dry, place it upside down. It will turn a dark yellow color when it's dry. Your choices for glaze this year are, in the red bucket, Orchid. The next green bucket is Astral Blue. Then Powder Blue, which looks a lot like Astral Blue. Then comes Tidal Pool, dark bluish greenish. Tomato Luster, you will see speckles of other colors inside of this brownish orangey color. Country Yellow. Clear, has not been working well with this clay. It shows cracklature. And then last but not least, Magic I just got in. It looks something like this. It'll be a surprise. Once you choose a glaze, take the examples off the lid, remove the lid, take the ladle and begin to stir the glaze. On top of it, you'll notice it's very watery, but the bottom there's a lot of sediment. Reach down deep and stir it for about 30 seconds. Then place the ladle on the side. Then you will grab the wall of your piece using a pair of dipping tongs. Usually, you will find a place to grab it somewhere on the side of your cup or bowl. Make sure you squeeze the tongs at the very edge of the red handles and get a good grip. Pull down close to the piece and dip your piece in quickly and lift it up quickly. Then, tilt it upside down so the glaze can drip out. You will notice the glaze starts to dry within 20 seconds. One coat of color may be enough. However, if it looks a little thin, you can do the whole process all over again and give your piece a second coat of glaze. Again, make sure to get close to the bucket, dip it in quickly and lift it out quickly, and turn it upside down and let all the excess glaze drip out. Notice the second coat will take a little bit longer to dry, but not too much longer. Then carefully place the piece down on the black rolling cart. To touch up the spots where you missed, go to the bucket with a brown handled brush, dip in, and maybe use a yogurt cup so it doesn't drip all over the floor. Then, gently dab the glaze onto the tiny little pinpoints where the tongs used to be. I probably should have used a different brush for this. This one's a little too messy. This brush has been working out really well. When you're finished, be sure to clean up after yourself. Clean off the tongs using a sponge and water. Run the brush under water and run your fingers through it to get all the glaze out. Place them away neatly into the drying rack, making sure the brush is facing up. Keep the color brushes separated and the brown brushes separated, and leave the tongs in the drying rack like this. Put the lid back on top of the glaze and any example pieces back on top. Glaze off the floor and tables, wet a sponge, and then squeeze the sponge out. Now the sponge is just damp, so when you clean the floor, it will not make the floor a soaking wet, dangerous mess. Nice job cleaning up, everybody.